What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I wanted to get into this. I wanted to talk about the top wide receivers for next year's draft for the 2023 NFL Draft. I know it's early, but I wanted to continue on this trend of getting the early rankings in. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Number 5, it's Quintin Johnson, wide receiver from TCU. Johnson, the first thing that stands out, he's a very big body, 6'4", 212 pounds, could add some weight. He's already added some weight in college. And, Johnson is just a beast when it comes down to contested catches. You see, I didn't really hear much about him. And then this year I watched the Oklahoma game. He just exploded with big plays in that game, really single-handedly almost kept, TCU in that game. Oklahoma was, in full control. Their offense was clicking with Caleb Williams at the time. And, Johnson really made some plays. His, ability to go up and get the ball and make plays, with 50-50 balls, contested catches balls was, full on display with Quintin Johnson. He's he's been a really good wide receiver this past 2 years for TCU. And this year, there's a lot of hype is really heating up on Quintin Johnson heading into his third year at TCU. Was a guy that was had offers from Texas and chose to attend TCU. But yeah, you gotta love. He's quite the competitor at the receiver position. Going to be likely a true outside receiver. But Johnson, a guy, he has a tremendous ability to get off the line of scrimmage quickly, and very good acceleration. Just the movement skills, like I said, are very good for a guy that big. And Quintin Johnson, his ability to even separate and his acceleration is very good. And I like Johnston a lot. And he's a guy that, I think will climb up draft boards as the hype continues, as we get closer, as we get in, especially into next season. I think if he has another big year, some people will be talking about as a top 3 guy, but comes in at number 5 for me. Number 4 is Jermaine Burton, the transfer from Georgia to Alabama. I think this is a good move. I think Jermaine Burton could have a Jamison Williams type impact for Alabama this year. Jermaine Burton, not quite as good as Jamison Williams, but let me tell you, he's still a very good receiver. And, it just wasn't working out at Georgia. There's a lot of times he was getting open. Stetson Bennett, even JT Daniels just were not seeing him, or they're very poor throws, especially when Stetson Bennett was in the game. But Jermaine Burton can do it all, can win on deep balls, contested catches, get open in the end zone. I love his ability to separate and, has the acceleration to, pick up good yardage on end arounds and, makes multiple defenders miss. And, pretty good body, solid muscle build. He's not like the biggest receiver in the world, but he's got pretty good size and a good frame as well. So, Jermaine Burton, you got to believe he's going to thrive with Bryce Young throwing him the ball, because Bryce Young last year was hitting Jamison Williams on the deep ball. Jermaine Burton can get open as well. And you got a guy like Burton that's getting open vertically. Bryce Young can put it there, on time and right on the money. So look forward to see what Jermaine Burton does at Alabama. I know that, he has the skill set to, bring a similar type of play that Jamison Williams brought up last year. But, Jermaine Burton, the Georgia transfer heading over to Alabama, should be a very productive, very good season. And he's a guy that's not getting as much hype, shockingly. Comes in at number 4 for me, and I almost, I was kind of going back and forth whether to have him, at number 3. But number 3 guy is pretty darn good as well. So I'll get at him in a moment. But number 4, it's Jermaine Burton. He was number 7 for Georgia. He's going to wear number 3 this year for Alabama. Next guy, number 3, it's Keyshawn Boutte from LSU. Why I love Boutte. Boutte is outstanding. First of all, it's outstanding. Very good body control. Very good ability to separate. And his release off the line of scrimmage is so smooth and fluid. And He's so good at separating and it adjusts to the ball so well. You saw it was the Kentucky game, he made that crazy catch on the sideline where he turned all the way around at an awkward angle and came down with the ball. He's so good at working the sideline. Just everything you want in a receiver, and he will block too. He's a good blocker, will show effort and can sustain blocks on the outside. So like Burton, there's him and Burton are very close, but I think Boutte has a few traits that he does at a higher level than Burton. That's why I gave Keyshawn Boutte the edge, and plus Boutte has been very productive. I wouldn't say very productive. He's been fairly productive with all due respect to his play amount of times he's played. Has missed some games for injury, I believe. Was it this year he missed games for injury, but. Yeah, you got a lot the footwork, very good, and very good ability to adjust the ball. Catches the ball in stride with his hands, very fluidly. It looks very natural. So, with that being said, Boutte comes in at number 3. Really like his game a lot. Number 2, it's A.T. Perry from Wake Forest. Perry's a guy that's very under the radar, but he does everything. Has almost every trait you want in a receiver. First of all, he's 6'5", has outstanding height that you want. Good footwork, can win contested catches consistently, and not just consistently, but does it at a high level. Size, very good size, good play strength, accelerates past defenders when he makes catches. So, and there's plays he'll work back on a curl route and he'll catch the ball and he'll just accelerate, just fly by defenders. And A.T. Perry, guy that was super productive this year for Wake Forest, can burn defenders downfield. He's going to be, like Johnson, a true outside guy that's just, going to be an absolute stud, can win against every corner. Can draw pass interference even if he doesn't come down with a big play catch, and is super effective at catching balls in the end zone. But that's why I love A.T. Perry. He should have a great year this year. He's got Sam Hartman throwing him the ball. That connection was very strong. They got pretty good chemistry. Hartman's a good quarterback, so excited to see what A.T. Perry does this year at Wake Forest. And he's a guy that his name isn't as high on on early mock drafts or early wide receiver rankings for this year, but you're going to hear his name more and more as this process goes on. And if he has another big year at Wake Forest, you saw that even in 2020 when he didn't have the best season, you saw his ability to get open was on full display. It's just Wake Forest offensive line was not as good in 2020 as it was this year, and Sam Hartman's play was even better this year as well, along with the offensive line, and you really got to see A.T. Perry shine and show what he could do. Number 1, it's Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State. Kind of the consensus here at number 1, but I had to go with it, or I had to stick with that theme because Jackson Smith-Njigba is special. Man, you see what he did in that Utah game. Effortless ability to get open, makes contested catches with ease. The over-the-shoulder ball is just so natural, and knows how to attack defensive backs leverage. It can get open, whether it's man-to-man, whether it's man coverage, can find the hole in the zone. Has got a good chemistry with C.J. Stroud, and a guy that you got to believe is just going to be, so productive and so outstanding, whether he's playing in the slot, which he's mostly doing at Ohio State, or on the outside. Can do either one. They don't just have him in the slot because he can't play the outside. He certainly can play the outside, and, Smith-Njigba, he is a stud. And with guys like Garrett Wilson and Olave last year, most people said that maybe Smith-Njigba is the best of all of them. And the Rose Bowl game kind of was a step towards fully agreeing with that take. But he's a guy that people are going to be talking about as the number 1 receiver in this draft class for a while now, unless one of these other guys or another guy emerges. But most people's consensus number 1 receiver comes in at number 1 for me. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's number 11 for Ohio State, and will be part of a what should be a high potent offense for Ohio State, maybe the best in the country, obviously, or very likely the best in the Big Ten. So we'll see what Smith and Jigba does. That's going to round it out, guys. Number 5 was Quintin Johnson from TCU. 4, Jermaine Burton from the transfer from Georgia to Alabama. Number 3, Keyshawn Boutte from LSU. Number 2, A.T. Perry, Wake Forest, and then number 1, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Ohio State. That's going to do it, guys. Make sure to stay tuned for clips and episodes from the show. I know haven't been posting as much, but I'm going to get back on that and keep cranking out these videos. Until next time, guys. Thank you. Peace.